Hey everybody, my name is Adam from Encounter Wargaming, and today we are going to recap, not 12 months, about 8 months of miniature painting. So the reason I had to correct myself is because we started a annual painting challenge, and it's just kind of a little group where some painting friends of ours, we hang out and we share pictures of kind of models that we finished, but all towards the end of accomplishing a certain goal as far as miniature count, right? So be like, man, okay, this year I just want to paint 100 figs, you know what I mean? I don't want to paint 100 dudes, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a Stampa, it's still one dude, right? You just want to paint a whole bunch of models. And so I set myself a goal of 100, and some other people set their goal of 1, or I think was it 3? Anyway, so various levels of goals, and it doesn't matter what it is, how many, or how few. The whole point is that it's just a way to share progress, keep each other motivated, and keep walking towards that goal of just sticking in our hobby and trying new things and upping our painting skill and ability and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We got to share a whole bunch of pics of minis from various games like Malifaux. I think some Infinity showed up, and then just a bunch of 40K and all that. And so it's for everyone and anyone. So if you are a person who needs help and motivation, let me know. Just comments on this video or comments on Facebook, send us a message. We can get you in that group so that you can join us in our little hobby challenges. And so yeah, just want to kind of recap a year in review. So I set out, I said I would do 100 models in about 8 months, because we kind of started this into 2017 a little bit. I figured, you know what, I'm a commissioned painter, I can paint fast, and painting is what I do all day, every day. So 100 models, no problem, should be easy. That's probably a low bar for me. I actually missed it. Oh, I missed it by a lot. I missed it. I only painted 53 models for myself. Okay, and just as a commission painter, I just wanted you guys to know that I'm not counting my commission painting models for this. I'm just counting my personal stuff. So, painted 53 models for myself, most of which the content was my Luna Wolves. Okay, so a bunch of Primera stuff. I upped my Sisters of Battle a little bit earlier in the year. I can't remember what else I put in there early on for the pledge, but anyways, that was pretty much it. Mostly Primera stuff, right? Getting that whole starter set painted, plus a bunch of other stuff for the tournament later on. It was super exciting. It was a lot of fun. We saw Lucas, who did a whole bunch of Kingdom's Death stuff. Yeah, that's the new board game you got, right, buddy? Kingdom Death. I think it was a Kickstarter board game with some really cool figures in there. But a bunch of Malifaux. Anyways, just a whole smorgasbord of people getting in there. So some other stuff that I did paint, though, that I want to just tell you guys about. And you can see this all on the Battle Brothers page. And so the painting group is kind of a combination of Battle Brothers fans of my commission painting studio and Encounter Wargaming. So painted, we got a Tau army painted for the LVO 2017. I'm super excited to share more pictures of the orcs that I'm painting up for a buddy. So this is the same guy for the LVO 2018, which is coming up. Really exciting. I painted 2 triumvirates, which both came out just before the release of 8th edition, which is really exciting. So I painted the triumvirate of the Primarch and the triumvirate of the Imperium, of course, because I gotta get St. Celestine in there. Painted a few Primarchs, so painted Lehman Russ, painted a whole bunch of Gene Stealer cult stuff, which is really cool. A rock grinder. I got my first international customer from Australia. Like literally the opposite side of the planet, like northern hemisphere to southern hemisphere, like this side of the planet to the total opposite side. It's literally down under. The down under, mate. Oh mate, been to Australia? Yeah, we'll go for a surf this arvo, eh? That's how they talk. I was there for a year. And let's see what else I got. A bunch of Mechanicum stuff. I painted an Imperial Knight for myself, actually, which was a lot of fun. I painted a mastodon for a customer, which was great fun. I actually still haven't painted my own mastodon. Painted just a ton of orcs. Painted orcs for mini Wargaming, which is really fun. The reason I'm leaning over is because I'm scrolling through all the albums on my Battle Brothers page. Painted some trophies for the Canadian Bloodbath, which is really cool. So I custom made these Lord of the Ring trophies with the battle scene where they're like flowing down the river, stuck in the barrels. And one of the dwarves like pops out of the river and he's like swinging around stuck inside his barrel and his arms are sticking out the sides of the barrel and all that. And he's just mowing down orcs and then his barrel busts and he jumps back in with a buddy in another barrel. Anyway, super cool. So just these two battle scenes, trophies for Best Painted Good and Best Painted Evil Army, which is really cool, really fun. Painted up a Spartan. Painted a bunch of Tyranids. So that was a lot of fun. A customer who's doing this like black and kind of purpley with green weapons type of Tyranid army. I actually had most of it painted by another commissioned painting studio, but he got like their lowest level of quality, which was a little bit disappointing. And so what I've been doing is slowly repainting his stuff for him, and just painting it a lot better because I only do one level of quality, which is good, which is fully painted and with love. That's Battle Brothers difference. Painted with love. So there you go. I also had my first U.S. customer across the border, so painted up a bunch of Zinch stuff. So painted a Magnus, which is super cool. Paint that Primarch. Helldrake, which is a giant pain in the butt. A bunch of characters, Predator, like just all a whole bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I can't. And old Peaches, good old Peaches. Painted up Peaches this year. Gargantuan Squigoth, and then a bunch of weird boys and stuff to go with that. For my man going to LVO 2018, Mr. Val Heffelfinger, big ups in the house. What up? So really excited to see Peaches take the battlefield there. I just finished them today, painted up 40 Storm Boys. But it was literally like, it was like 72 hours of just mind-numbing painting, because I just wanted to get it out of the way because I got a bunch of orders to finish. I got another Imperial Knight, and I got 2 Belisarius Calls, I got 6 Mechanicum Robots, a bunch of Sisters of Silence, 40 more Storm Boys, thank you, Val Heffelfinger, for that. But that's in the future. And then just a pile of chaos and random stuff like that. And then other personal projects that I want to catch up on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do this year is I set 100 miniatures last year, and I didn't get it. I got 53, which I told you guys. So what I think I'm going to do this year, and I have reasons for this, is I'm going to set my goal back to 100. Okay? One, because we're going to go for a full 12 months. Okay? So pick your pledge, post it in the group. We're going to go for a full 12 months, okay? As opposed to like 8. So that gives me it gives me 50% longer, right? So that already brings me to 75 models if the length of time and consistency of painting kept up. But then also I had a big kind of family drama this summer. My mother passed away, and it just as these things do, they took up a lot of personal time and taking care of my family and my dad, and so I think, you can never plan for these things. So in as much as I'm not expecting anything like that to happen again this year, you never know. But I am kind of expecting that not to happen again this year. So I think 100 miniatures for me, going at a normal pace, is very attainable. And so my first project is going to be a Battlefleet Gothic fleet, and I think that's going to give me some good momentum, because there's about 25 Space Marine ships. I got a battle barge. I got about 8 hunters, 6 gladius. That's 15. 6 Stalkers. Stalkers, that's 21. And then 4 Strikers, so 25 ships. And Battlefield Gothic is so easy to paint. So, like, I plan on sitting down one day, just like 10 hours and painting all 25. And then that's done. So I'm already 25% of the way there. So then I have some Infinity stuff I want to paint. I have some, obviously, always Malifaux stuff to paint. And a ton more Primaris stuff for my Luna. So that should be a good chunk. That should be a fairly sufficient amount of models that I could probably bang out in the first, I'm hoping maybe 3 months even. So that would get me like to 40 models in the first 3 months. And I think that would be very, very attainable for me. There's some stuff going on in the background, like we got Wild West Exodus stuff coming in. We're gonna do some battle reports of that game, which is really cool. They sent us a bunch of stuff, and so all the guys from the podcast, as well as Jason and I, we're gonna paint up a little force and do some battle reports and stuff, because the aesthetic is really cool, and I'm excited to try out the game too. So that stuff's there, and yeah, just gonna be fun. I'm excited. There's a couple innovations I've made recently in my painting. So, one, and I just started this for the Storm Boys. I started doing this. Like, you know what is perfect? Because I want to paint these 40 guys. I don't want to paint them all at once. So I'm going to paint them in little batches of 6. And so I was like, you know what would be perfect? Is a wet palette. Because I'm doing 2 or 3 layers of highlighting. But I'm doing batches of 5 and 6. Like, I'm going to be re-highlighting these same colors. So if I use a wet palette, then I can save paint. I can, all the reasons to use a wet palette finally seemed really applicable. So I just ran down to the dollar store and just bought these. Actually, they're really cool. I'll just show you. I just bought these little sandwich containers to fit like one perfectly square sandwich, because loaves of bread are square, and it's super shallow box, and it just has a clip-on lid for just ease for me. But anyways, you drop in, I just take a paper towel, fold it in half, and shove it in there, cut out a square of parchment paper, and there you go. There you have it. Dump in some water, you got a wet palette, and it was perfect. It was amazing. It actually was like life-changing. Paul, thank you for always pushing me to not be a savage with my painting. And I also got some brush soap. So it's going to be a clean and innovative year for Adam in the Battle Brothers studio. Oh, you know what else I painted? I painted a bunch of Star Trek ships, which is super random. My boy Art playing the Star Trek. This isn't stuff I painted, but they're right here, so I might as well show you. It's basically like, it's obviously not Battlefield Gothic scale, because the ships are huge, but they're the same size of model, which is really neat. So these little ships, which is kind of fun. So I got those. I painted a bunch. Probably painted like maybe 40 or 50 Star Trek ships this year, which is like super random, but it was a lot of fun. They were really neat. Anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. I'm excited. Get your pledges in, and just start painting early. So this is how it works. So pick your amount of models. Okay, it doesn't matter how big or how small. Just pick your amount of models. So I'm saying 100 models for me, and then just start plugging away. And every time you finish a model or finish a group of models, just post a picture, and keep your tally updating. So post your picture and then say, oh, I've completed 5 out of my 100 so far this year. And it should be fun. So I'm excited to see what you guys are painting. I'm excited to show off what I'm working on. And I think it's going to be fun and creative, and it's just exciting overall. So Happy New Year. Stay painting. Just have fun with it. Try something new. Get a wet palette. Clean your brushes. Oh, this is another thing I did. I got the full range of Scale 75 paints. I'm gonna do some tutorials dedicated to just showing off the Scale 75 paints, but we teamed up with a online retailer that's probably one of the few Canadian resellers of Scale 75, and they offer those paints, it's an amazing paint line. I can't wait to show you guys how cool it is. And anyways, through us you can get 10% off, and our patrons, through us you can get 10% off one time, just anybody can, but our patrons get 10% off all the time, which is amazing. So you can try out, just like they carry just like weird brands and stuff, hard to find brands, especially in Canada. So Scale 75, Broken Toad paintbrushes, which are Kolinsky Sable paintbrushes, which are really neat, and yeah, just some other stuff. So yeah, try something new, try a new paint line, get a wet palette. Yeah, awesome. Guys, not much else to say. I've already talked way too long. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for painting models and being a big old nerd like me. If you haven't, go see The Last Jedi. It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it, watching it with my boy Jack. Good buddy of mine since high school, and we basically got into Warhammer together. So, you know, how can it not be a good time? Star Wars, your best bud, and, you know, good times all around. Happy New Year. Guys, we'll see you at our next encounter.
Like a monkey